Hi, I'm Thomas Nagin, and I'm the host of Mineral Explorers. On this episode, we're going to show you some of the unusual, adventurous, and sometimes even dangerous situations that occur when me and my friends are looking for minerals throughout the world. I'm Thomas Nagin, and I'm a mineral explorer. I'm the guy that supplies museums, galleries, and private collectors with world-class pieces of nature's art. Come along with us as we travel the globe in search of rare gems, crystals, and other fine minerals. It's not always easy, but it's always an adventure. Mother Nature's finishing touch. It's a wonder, with all their color and elegance, that they can be found in a place as arid as the moon. The Lily Mine is located over 120 miles south of Peru's capital city, a tiny dot on the edge of a long, narrow stretch of desert that's bordered by the Pacific Ocean to the west and the Andes Mountains to the east. It's a region that's dusty, dry, and sparsely populated.
Buenas, hasta luego.
Despite its reputation for beautiful minerals, the Lily Mine sees few visitors due to its remote location.
I found this in the road fill. So this shows the origin of the mine deposit. This is sandstone. And the sandstone was here first, and then a quartz intrusive, it's called. A vein that has quartz with also copper minerals would have been pushed up from underneath, and those fluids went into the cracks in the sandstones. So we have silica. There's more.
This is no man's land. A land so barren, so seemingly devoid of life. But nature is full of surprises. Out here among all the beige are beautiful minerals bursting with color.
Esa es la Atacamita.
Sí.
No.
Para
Atacamita.
Para Atacamita.
Ah.
Pero esto cuando sale de adentro de la bacamina sale así grandes.
Ah.
Sí.
She says these will get up to a meter hasta este tamaño.
Sí.
She says the selenites will get up to a meter long. Hey, Rob.
Oh, hey, wow.
Look at this, Rob.
Uh-huh.
Nice little cavity.
It's
Just laying around on the dump.
Uh-huh. A lot of times all you see are the veins on the outside, and you just have to
Break it open and see what's on the inside.
Yep.
Rob is a friend and business associate. The majority of his time is spent traveling to galleries, museums, and mineral showrooms, not in holes in the ground. Initially, they discovered some copper minerals right up here, and they started digging this giant hole straight down. Then they dug this tunnel that we walked in on, and now what they're doing is they're digging straight down over here. They moved a lot of rock. The small operation above ground doesn't even begin to suggest the amount of work happening below.
So here's what they were actually following. They were looking for veins in the rock that had mineralization of calcite. And these are actually big blocks of calcite. You can see if I brush the dirt off, this is solid calcite, which are parts of giant calcite crystals. And in that calcite, where there were cracks, are veins of the copper-rich minerals that they're chasing. And you can see how the blue here would have formed on the surface of a crack in the calcite.
Like most Peruvian mineral dealers, Estela, the mine owner, is based in Lima, over 3 hours away, so Ruben oversees the work here at the mine. Compared with some of the mines I've visited in Colombia and Mexico, this one seems relatively safe, but reaching the deepest recesses of the mine requires a little courage and a lot of caution. These ladders are made of rebar, which they have welded together. At least they won't break, I hope. They're a little bit bouncy though. They tell me that down here, there's a lot of mineralization and there's some minerals that we can see on the walls. We'll see what we find. You never know what you're gonna find. Oh, here's a rope. Good. I'm glad that I'm not working down here every day. Wow. There's all kinds of calcite and selenite laying all over here.
So Thomas is about 40 meters below us, down a couple of ladders and a rope. And what happens is they've got to get rid of all the rock they're mining down there as they follow this newest part of the mine where they found the atacamite crystals. So all the rock comes up here. They've installed a steel rope hoist. It's hydraulically powered and held down to the ground with about 1,000 pounds of cement bags. Everything comes up, the good specimens, the things they want to keep, put to the side on the planks, and then the buckets of waste go onto this chute, which brings it right down into the waiting cart. And that has to be hauled out by hand. It's a lot of work.
The majority of what they're after is raw material for cutting and polishing. But sometimes they find a specimen that's best left as nature intended. This is really rare. We found some atacamite growing right in the walls. Atacamite and selenite. Big atacamite crystals. These are unusually large atacamites, and you just don't see them. Very prized by collectors.
Hola, Rob.
Yeah.
¿Qué tal la bajada?
How's it going down, Rob?
I'm okay. You know, it doesn't look this deep from up there. This is totally unstable and unsafe. Oh, wow. I just gotta get this. I mean, this is actually a specimen.
Yeah. The Lily Mine produces some beautiful examples of Mother Earth in crystallized form: atacamite, selenite, and DRUZY quartz. And with each piece, you're also collecting adventures and memories along the way, even if you might end up somewhere you never expected.
We were actually looking for Mexican amethyst and found ourselves accidentally in Guatemala due to my map reading skills at a time when Guatemala was thinking of invading Belize. And we were thought of as being potentially the SAS, the special forces. 2 unfit guys and an unfit woman ended up 3 nights in the Guatemalan police station while they tried to figure out what a bunch of rocks, some arcane markings on a geological map instead of radios might actually mean. After 3 days, fortunately, somebody from the British Embassy turned up and sent us on our way. But it did mean that I had to improve my map reading skills quite dramatically and not go back to Guatemala for a while.
With their deep green hue, emeralds have long been considered a symbol of springtime. So it's no surprise that the world's finest come from a place that's lush and green all year long. Colombia is one of the most biologically diverse countries on the planet. It's a tropical region with abundant plant life and heavy rainfall. The emerald mines are located along the eastern branch of the Colombian Andes. We're headed to Chivor, one of the 3 main mining districts in Colombia. With us is Gloria Diaz Martinez, the concejal or councilor of Bogota. Their family owns a jewelry company that's licensed by the state to mine for emeralds at Chivor. It's about a 4-hour drive from Bogota over wet, bumpy roads. But Colombia's abundant water supply is one of its biggest natural resources. We're about to arrive at the Chivor mine, but right here we're at the dam, and this is where they hold up all the water and they generate a lot of energy here. It's one of the most important places in the country for generating energy.
We can sell when another country needs maybe energy in another part of America.
Yeah, so
you know, sometimes Venezuela, sometimes Panama and other countries.
But because this area is so valuable, not only for the energy, but because of the emeralds too. So about 15 years ago, they put the military here to protect the dam from the guerrillas or the people who would want to do harm to the country. Emeralds have been mined from these hills since pre-Columbian times and were used for jewelry, trade, and even worship. Hundreds of years later, the hunt continues for one of the world's most popular gemstones.
They just set off an explosion, so we got to wait about 20 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes for the all of the smoke to come out before we can go in and see what's happened with it. These are some emeralds that came out recently, and the ones that are in the rock, they call them gangas. That's the name for them here. They're mineral specimens. But all these emeralds came out recently, so it's real likely that they're going to hit something good really soon.
I was eager to get in the tunnels, but with all the rain, I'm now feeling a bit concerned. This area is largely composed of shale, which is soft and unstable. But a little rainwater is nothing new to the men and women who work here. It's just another day on the job. This is, Hugo's telling me this is one of the tunnels that's the lowest of all of the mines. And all of this water that's coming out of here is coming from up top. It's working its way down to this tunnel. When you're this far into the side of the mountain, it's best to stay focused on the prize ahead, rather than the tons of earth that are above you. So we push on and are rewarded with signs of hope. When we first came into the mine, the rock was really dark and it was very hard. And then we came into this new zone here where the rock is soft. They call it kaolin. Now, they don't find emeralds in this part of the mine, in this kaolin, but it's a sign that they're getting close to the emeralds. As we inch closer to the action, the path leads us up out of the water to more solid rock. They just did the blast, and this right here is the vein that it was uncovered. And we're finding little pieces of emeralds on the floor. Now, they're not the top quality emeralds, but it's a sign that they're going to be hitting some nice ones soon. I think if we spend some more time here, we could probably find a lot more emeralds on the floor. But for right now, I think we're going to head back to the office. They've told me they have some nice emerald crystals that I can take a look at. Blasting, flooding, drilling, and soft rock are all powerful inspirations for a quick exit. Here you have these are all natural crystals. Kind of like what I really look for. They're all natural crystals. They have nice terminations. They are nice and transparent, most of them, except at the base. They are light on color though, so they probably won't cut really great stones.
Yeah, I think it's better to leave them this way, to show or to sell to anybody who wants to buy them. But if you cut them, you're gonna lose weight, so that's not a big deal for you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There was just a cave-in right here, just right beside the opening that we came out of. The side of the mountain just came down. You can see it right over here. It's because of all the rain that happened. This whole big pile of dirt and rocks right here just came down off the mountain. Yeah. Gloria says we need to look and see if there's any emeralds in there.
While risk is inevitable, rain certainly adds to the instability of the area. It's amazing to see how much work goes into discovering these elusive gemstones. With risk often comes reward, or at least a good story.
I always see plenty of wildlife. I know one time I was actually out in the Simpson Desert as well looking for tektites and meteorites, and I was on a big flat plain with two other friends of mine, and they were a couple hundred yards in front of me, and next thing I hear this commotion and both of them were running towards me. There was a stampede of wild brumbies coming after them, and they were just running, and these probably 50 or 100 brumbies are coming straight at them, and I was shouting at them to stop. I said, run the other way, don't run, don't run. So as they were running past me, I was picking up rocks and I was running towards them, throwing the rocks at this pack of crazy horses, and they parted like the Dead Sea right past me and then just did a loop and took off. But if they had kept on running, they just would have got run over, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, don't turn your back on a stampeding herd of crazy horses, I learned that.
In the world of gems and minerals, Mexico's a rock star. Our North American neighbor produces dozens of collector favorites, including amethyst, amber, selenite, and many, many more. These minerals account for only a tiny fraction of Mexico's multi-billion-dollar mining industry, but they sometimes support whole mining communities. A small town just outside of Las Vegas produces some of the country's finest amethyst, and several local mineral dealers sell right out of their homes. I hope to find some really nice pieces, but sadly production is down because of one of Mexico's deadliest drug cartels.
Háblale, porque entraron a la tienda todos los cabrones, ya ves que esos llegan en grupo. Eso que otros cabrones le están pidiendo dinero a una muchacha y no les quiso ver dado tampoco. La abrieron, los malditos bien abierta.
Hearing the details of this tragic attack made clear that the violence happening around the amethyst mines is very real. It's important to listen to locals when it comes to your safety.
Sí. Yo les digo esto porque ese tipo de gente no tiene compasión de nadie. De nadie.
We bought a few rocks, nothing really great, but they did have some scary stories about what the situation is here. It seems like it's pretty dangerous, that they've killed several people, said to have, not only up by the mine, especially by the mine, but also right here in the main town. You don't want to go looking for rocks anymore?
Absolutely no.
You don't want to go to the mine now?
No, I want to go home.
In this business, you have to be flexible. Plans change, and some treasures just aren't worth the risk. So we point the car south and head towards Simo Jovel in hopes of collecting some beautiful natural amber. But violence is all too common in Mexico, and it's threatening our chances of getting anywhere on this trip.
Simo Jovel, ¿hay paso? No?
No hay secuestro.
Un secuestro, it's a kidnapping. Okay. Well, there's some violence going on up here. Evidently, they've captured the president of the municipality here.
Roadblocks are a common form of protest throughout much of Latin America. If you try to drive through without permission, you risk getting your tires slashed, your windows broken, or even worse.
Sometimes there's situations where a lot of people will tell you it's very dangerous, but if you go with a smile, you can get by a lot of places. ¿Qué tal? Muy buenos días. Señor Gomez, ¿no?
Sí, sí, así
Me llamo Thomas Nagin.
Igualmente, mucho gusto.
Mr. Gomez told us that if we went this other way, they'd probably do something violent to us because they would think that we were newspaper men. But even explaining that we weren't, wouldn't help. But he told us that if we went around the other way, we could go by and everything would be all right. Can you go by there?
No.
¿Pueden ahí, mover eso? A ver. Y un día feliz. ¿Podemos pasar? ¿Ya? ¿Sí? Ok. Está bien, gracias. Gracias. Buenas. Gracias.
The dense tropical forest of Simojovel in the southern state of Chiapas produces some of the world's finest amber. Known for its clarity and color, the amber found here is believed to be roughly 25 million years old. Since amber is a result of an organic material, it's not technically a mineral, but it's prized by collectors.
This whole area was at one time underwater. You can see it by the fossils that you'll find in the rocks here. The trees grew on the mountainsides, and the sap that came from them formed the amber. They were deposited jointly with the fossils, and so sometimes you'll find amber deposited together with the fossils. Carlos tells me that his whole family works here with the amber and has always worked with the amber. His father taught him, who's worked here his whole life, and casi todo el mundo aquí trabajan con amber. Just about everybody in this whole area works with the amber.
According to ancient mythology, amber was produced by the sun, but it's found far from the light of day, in long, low, primitive tunnels carved deep into the hillside.
It's hot, there's no ventilation, the tunnels are low. I hope we find some amber.
No, la verdad casi no sale el ámbar, aunque se trabaje horas aquí no se encuentra.
No está encontrando, está buscando más adentro. He's looking for it farther in. We're not getting a lot out of these walls here. He makes me look like a wimp.
It's physical work, but it's not just about brute strength. Skill and experience go a long way.
Okay, he says this is the shell. This covered a piece. Oh, there's some amber right there. Look at that.
While the work is exhausting, uncovering these ancient wonders reveals a powerful connection to the earth and to those that came long before us. Collecting nature's art has also allowed me to make friends with a community of other passionate mineral explorers who paved the road before me and are now off to new adventures.
I'm in Bolivia, one of the first times I go to Bolivia, and I need transportation. Well, I'm not rich enough at that point to be able to afford to rent a 4x4, but the next best thing is like a VW Beetle. Okay, so I rent this Beetle from this agency in La Paz, and I drive out to a rural, and then I kind of decide, well, I'm going to go out to Yagua. And so I'm driving out towards Yagua, and there's a little bit of a stream, and the water's going across. Maybe it's, I don't know, a foot deep, something like that. But at any rate, you get used to this thing. So I just kind of pulled the VW into it and drove across this thing. And on the way back, you know, it was a clear sky. There wasn't any indication of rain clouds or anything like that. And I come back and have to cross this thing to get back into rural, and it seems a little higher. And there's like a line of cars and trucks stopped on each side of this thing. And I'm thinking, that's kind of funny. So I pull around them and I go charging into this thing. And the VW goes down and it keeps going down, and pretty soon I know there's a little bow wave washing up on my windshield. And I'm going, holy Jesus, and I could feel the thing floating. You know, and you're kind of being moved sideways off what maybe was a roadbed underneath you. and I could feel the back of the thing because of the engine kind of like coming down and touching down. So I just kind of grabbed on and kept the acceptance, and it would kind of go down and bump and kick me forward and bump, and I'm sliding sideways and bump, and I crawl off on the other side and get up, and I'm standing there, my knuckles are white, and I'm hyperventilating, and all these guys in the trucks and the cars are going, yay, yay, you know, like I'd done this miracle, and I was sitting there. I had to sit there for 10 minutes before I could move, you know.
If you want to see more episodes or check out our mineral collection, click the link in the description. And of course, like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Mineral Explorers.